ktn.
Now, the composition of a 10-member committee tasked with shaping broad-based government's common manifesto is raising questions over the political influence of Deputy President Professor Kindiki and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, while allies of President William Ruto, ODM, and National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula feature prominently in the team. There is no obvious political lieutenant from either Kindiki or Mudavadi's political camp, as the broad-based arrangement increasingly turns its attention to 2027. Could the committee be offering an early glimpse into who is gaining influence and who could be losing ground? Grace Nganga with the details.
The political architecture of the broad-based government is taking shape, but buried in 10 names selected to formulate a common manifesto between UDA and ODM is a conspicuous absence. No ally of Deputy President Kindiki and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi are included. The committee emerged from the Naivasha retreat, where the two sides agreed to develop a shared policy program ahead of the 2027 general election. And with the president and his eventual running mate expected to implement a manifesto developed by the two, membership of the team carries considerable political weight. On the ODM side, the team includes figures with established links to senior party officials. Professor Bernard Mwok, a county secretary in Homa Bay, has worked closely with Governor Gladys Wanga and previously featured prominently in discussions around the county's political succession. Engineer Kare Orege from Siaya is the chair of the Council of the Great Lakes University of Kisumu and a former senior civil servant. He is also married to Trade Principal Secretary Regina Ombam. Miriam Abdullahi Mbaruk, meanwhile, is a former Mombasa County executive responsible for finance and economic planning, having served during Hassan Joho's tenure as governor. Then there is Isaac Wabuge, a former ODM parliamentary candidate and a political and governance analyst who recently publicly backed cooperative CS Weekly for Paranya for the deputy president position. The ODM side also have Professor Leonida Kerubo Omosa, the acting deputy vice chancellor for human resource and administration at the University of Nairobi. On the Kenya Kwanza side, the names point to another network of political and policy interests. Dr. Emmanuel Nzai, chair of the Vision 2030 board, is a former Kilifi gubernatorial aspirant who later served as Aisha Jumo's running mate. Bramwell Simiyu has links to National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula's political network and has previously participated in coalition and merger discussions involving Ford Kenya, ANC and UDA. Dr. Cecilia Ngetich is a former Bomet woman rep and a UDA appointee to the Lake Victoria South Waterworks Development Agency board. Then there is Dr. Daniel Mwai, who is a health and environmental economist who serves in the Presidential Economic Transformation Secretariat. And Mohammed Hassan is a member of the Presidential Council of Economic Advisors and was involved in the development of the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. The imagined picture is therefore difficult to ignore that one of the senior figures who occupy critical positions within the broad-based government, Kindiki, doesn't appear to have placed identifiable allies. For Kindiki, that raises an especially sensitive question. Could this mean that he was not central to the negotiations that produced the team? For Mudavadi, the picture is equally intriguing. He surrendered his ANC party to the UDA merger, but like Kindiki, he has no obvious political lieutenant on the 10-member team. But as UDA and ODM move from cooperation towards a more structured political partnership, the composition of the teams around President Ruto could offer important clues about where power is shifting. Grace Nganga, ktn.